Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleni and I'm a fourth year dental student. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I usually do weekly vlogs on my life in dental school so you guys can get an inside look into what dental school is like. But today I'm going to be doing a sit down video and I wanted to talk to you guys about the board exam. I recently took it and I found out that I passed, and I put that on my Instagram story, and so many of you guys reached out, said congratulations, and the support was amazing. So thank you guys so much. But a lot of you guys were asking me about the exam, how much it cost, what I used to study. So I kind of wanted to sit down and tell you guys all about the exam and how I passed, what I used, what I wish I had done. So I wanted to just kind of talk to you guys all about that. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, the National Board exam is now an integrated exam. It used to be two different parts, but now it's called the INDBE, the Integrated National Boards exam. So now it's just a 2-day exam. You have to take it on 2 separate days, and it's around $800. I think they just raised the price, so we got to pay $800 for it. And the first day is around, I want to say 8 hours. The second day is about 4. There's a breakdown you can find on their website. Maybe I'll try and link it down below for you guys. But the second day is a lot shorter. The first day can be pretty long. There's a lot of sections on it. But the last section of the first day is more of those integrated questions. So it's a lot of like case-based questions. So it'll say, you have a patient come in, they take these medications and this is what's going on. And then it'll ask you a bunch of questions about the patient and how you would handle it. So that's the last section of day 1, but also all of day 2. So the exam is a lot of questions about clinic, and then those 3 sections are about a specific clinical case, and there'll be like 5 questions based on one case. So that's kind of what the test is like. And I took it at a Prometric center. So I took one near my house, but obviously there's so many different locations. You can go home and take it if that's more convenient for you. I know some people would do that. Just go home and like spend a week there before taking the test. And so I took 2 dedicated weeks for the exam. At my school, they don't really give you like dedicated time. I know maybe some other schools do, but I had to dedicate those 2 weeks myself. So I cleared out my schedule. I didn't schedule any patients for those 2 weeks before the exam, so I could just focus on studying. But if I could go back and do it again, I wish I had taken the 3rd week. And so like the first week that I had been studying, I wish that I had scheduled a few patients and then would dedicate like half of my day to studying, because I wish I still had a few days for review. I just think I needed a little bit more time for studying, just to get all the little details down. But basically what I did to study was I used Crack the INDBE, and it's a great online resource, and they have all the videos that you need to watch, and then they have practice questions, they have flashcards, and they have practice exams. So what I did was I went through all of the videos first, and I took notes on the videos, and then about a week before the exam I started doing practice questions, and the whole time I was reviewing the flashcards as well. So that's basically all I used for studying. I did buy these first aid NBDE books, but to be honest, I only opened it a few times and just found it more confusing to look through this. I felt like the videos were very helpful, very easy to follow, and I felt like the questions really helped prepare me. So if you're gonna study, I feel like the website is really the only thing you need. They really focus in on what is gonna be on the exam. So the people who are in the videos, they have already taken the exam, or they know kind of like have an idea of what's going to be on it, so they can really tailor to what the questions are going to be like on the exam. And for me, I felt like there was 2 subjects that I really needed to focus on, which was pathology and pharmacology. I feel like those are the 2 big sections to review for the exam. I felt like a lot of the questions were in those categories, in those subjects. There was perio questions, there were questions in other subjects, but I felt like majority of the questions were based on, a medication the patient might be taking or what kind of oral pathology they were taking. You also want to make sure that you know dental anatomy really well. For the anatomy part, there really wasn't much to it. The only thing you really need to study for anatomy is like the head and neck. Specifically, the nerves of the mouth and the muscles of the mouth, so like muscle of mastication, and then knowing trigeminal nerves, and then the nerves that will innervate the tongue and how the tongue works, the muscles of the tongue. So really for anatomy, it's just focusing on head and neck and mostly on the mouth and the tongue. So yeah, that's basically how I studied. I just went through all the videos, took notes, and then went through the practice problems. And I felt like with that, I felt pretty good for the exam. The exam really wasn't that difficult. There was definitely a lot of questions that I just really didn't know. I'd never seen those things before in study materials. So there's definitely going to be questions that you won't know. But for the majority, I felt that a lot of the questions were pretty basic, things that you have repeatedly gone through in your classes, and things that professors really also would focus on a lot. So I feel like if you study really well your first and second year, you're going to remember things for the exam, and the review for the exam is going to be a lot easier if you do your studying, really good studying first and second year, because I felt that I was just reviewing and there really wasn't anything too complicated to study for the board exam. And I felt a lot of it was also things that you just learn from clinic when you have experience in the clinic. So as long as you are getting experience in the clinic during your third year before you take the exam, I feel like that's also a good way to help you prepare. There's also ethics questions, which I felt were pretty basic. So just make sure to review your ethics, the codes and the principles of ethics. There were a couple of questions on that. So yeah, I really feel like all in all, the test, the board exam really wasn't that bad. You just need to make sure you review all your drugs and all your oral pathology and have a general idea of perio and dental anatomy and your head and neck anatomy, along with ethics. And I wish I had done the 2 dedicated weeks, which I did do, but I wish I had done a week before that of like half day studying, just so that by the 3rd week I really had a good handle on the material. And I honestly feel like just studying from Crack the INDBE is all you need to get. That's all you need to study from. And I felt like that was enough for me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's really not that bad of an exam. It was actually kind of nice taking 2 weeks off from clinic just to study and go to the library. So don't be stressed out about it and just take it. My advice would be take it when it's a good time for you. So a lot of people in my class I know took it at the beginning of the winter semester, but we had a lot of classes. Well, not a lot of classes, but we had a few classes going on and we had workshops and we had some tests. But I took it a little bit later in May. And by that time, we didn't have any classes. We had finished all of our classes. So it was the perfect time to take the board exam because I felt like we had nothing else going on. So I could just focus on the boards exam and studying for that. And I didn't have to stress about anything else. So I felt like that was a really good time for me to take it. So just look at your schedule before you plan to take the exam and just see and make sure that you really don't have that much going on besides, being able to study for the exam. And so basically when you sign up for the exam, you'll sign up through Prometrics and you're going to register and you're going to pay in order to then pick your date. So I would sign up and then it takes like 2 or 3 days for them to give you the ability to then schedule your test. So make sure that you're scheduling it like 2 to 3 months beforehand, so that way you can pick the date that you want. And I said before, it takes 2 days to take it. So when I had signed up, there wasn't 2 back-to-back dates. So I took one day was on a Friday, and then the next day, or one day, the first day was a Saturday, and the next day that I took it was the following Friday. So I know a lot of people do it like back-to-back, but when I was trying to pick it out, it was already booked. Everything was full. So I had to do it a week apart. So make sure you give yourself enough time to schedule it. That way you can pick 2 days back to back if you want to, or you can do like maybe a day in between, so you give yourself a little bit of rest. But you definitely don't need like a whole week between the two exams, between the 2 test dates. So try and get them relatively close to each other. So book it far in advance, and that way you can pick the date that you want, and you can pick them kind of close to each other. But yeah, I think that's basically everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about. If there's anything else that you guys have questions about, you can always just comment down below, and I'll link the INDBE website down below, and you guys can use my code. And another thing is that if you're an international student trying to come and study here, you have to take the test as like your application exam. So I'm pretty sure if you're an international student, you take it before you can come here to study. But yeah, that's basically it. It's really not that bad, and if you have been doing well in school, then you're going to do just fine on the exam. And it's pass-fail anyway, so I felt like it was a lot less stressful than taking the DAT, because I felt when I was taking the DAT, I wanted a particular score. So I really had to study hard to get that particular score, but for the board exam, you just need to pass. So it's really not that bad. So like if you really don't know a lot of questions, it's okay, because you just need a passing score. So yeah, it's really not that bad. And yeah, that's basically everything. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I hope it was helpful for you guys. But as always, you can always reach out to me if you have any other questions. But yeah, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!